Hello, everyone. How are you doing? This is Daryl Guberman. You'll know me already. The specialist when it comes to Boeing and Lockheed and also Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson's quality faux pas on top of the situation where you also have government agencies involved. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest here. You know me, I usually never ever read from a script, but this is going to be my deposition to Mr. Judge Reed O'Connor, who came in. Thank you, Judge O'Connor, for coming in here. I appreciate it. He is the guy who reopened the case of the families of the Ethiopian Air and Indonesian Air that were killed haphazardly by the MCAS system, which was manufactured by Rockwell Collins, where Mr. Robert Kelly Oberg, the new CEO for Boeing, was the CEO at the time, Judge O'Connor. If you didn't know that, now you do. And he skipped out of town, so to speak, in 2021, right after Dennis Muhlenberg's inquisition at the DHS subcommittee, where I was on April 17th supporting Sam Salapar. I was not invited to speak, Judge, but those two pieces of paper, like many others that we have, illustrate the factor that Boeing gave up on-site auditing of their suppliers to two certifications. We have that. If we have enough time, I will go into it, but I want to read you my deposition to you. And hopefully I can explain it with placards as well, either in this video or video 2. You will see. I went there, I got up under threat of getting arrested and or thrown out, but I did it because I care about human life. On April, by the way, I will give you my background very shortly when I read you my deposition, but here it is. We had Mr. David Calhoun. Mr. David Calhoun, who I went to go see too on June 18th. The only thing, Judge O'Connor, that Mr. Calhoun knew about was his Titleist III ball getting hit on a tee on the golf course. That's the only thing I think he knows about aerodynamics. Now we're going to continue on. By the way, after I went to go see David Calhoun, I put in a 42-page document, this is it, with 11 letters of recommendation to the board members of Boeing to either be the CEO, the dark horse, which they need, and especially the quality person. We wanted to be the lead in the quality arena because right now the gentleman they have there, Mr. Ackerman, Doug Ackerman, has been there far too long to make any big inroads when it comes to quality assurance. I assure you that. And here we go, Mr. O'Connor. Judge, sit back and relax. This video today is about QA expert Daryl Guberman educates Judge Reed O'Connor on Boeing's corruption and DOJ's role in FAA oversight failures. As a quality assurance expert with over 40 years of experience across aerospace, medical implants, materials, and other industries, I, Daryl Guberman, feel it is imperative to address Judge Reed O'Connor regarding the deeply concerning relationship between Boeing, the Department of Justice, and the Federal Aviation Administration. This issue goes far beyond the recent rejection of Boeing's plea agreement related to the 737 MAX crashes. It exposes systematic flaws that endanger public trust and safety. On April 17th, as I showed you, Judge, I took an uninvited stand at the DHS subcommittee meeting on Capitol Hill after hearing whistleblower Sam Salapar and other speakers, including an MIT representative. I presented documented proof of Boeing's abandonment of on-site supplier audits, a policy in effect since 2002. Instead of sending auditors to ensure supplier quality, Boeing relies solely on two certification bodies. These certificates serve as a rubber stamp, allowing parts to be delivered without adequate oversight. Compounding this issue is the DOJ's involvement. The DOJ is not only a regulatory authority, but also paying customer of Boeing's accreditation body. ANSI, ANAB. That's the American National Standards Institute and the American National Crediting Board. I will go off on a tangent right now. They formed the International Accreditation Forum, which is an association of accreditation bodies, both national and international, with their sister organization, the International Laboratory Accreditation Cooperation in Australia. IAF is in Delaware again. They are an association. ANSI, ANAB are the founders of the IAF, and they are also underwriters, which means they take all systematic and product failures within that system. And here it is. Compounding this issue is DOJ's involvement The DOJ is not only a regulatory authority, but also a paying customer of Boeing's accreditation body, ANSI ANAP. This clear conflict of interest has fostered a dangerous environment where critical safety systems like the MCAS system were not disclosed to the FAA. That's because Boeing was made an agency of the FAA in 2009. I have all the documentation. You can't lie about this. This arrangement directly contributed to the catastrophic MAX crashes where 346 people lost their lives. Judge O'Connor's recent decision to reject Boeing's plea deal rightly points to glaring issues in how compliance is managed. The agreement, which proposed a mere $487 million in fines, paltry compared to the $24.8 billion sought by the victim families, delegated critical oversight of Boeing's probation to the DOJ. Such marginalization of the judiciary undermines public confidence. It is also troubling that Boeing's safety violations, including the January 21st door plug incident with Alaska Airlines, highlight the failure of earlier agreements to ensure compliance. Boeing's repeated disregard for safety measures is not accidental. It is a systematic and tied to the cozy relationship it maintains with its regulators. The FAA's culpability in this debacle cannot be overstated by allowing Boeing to sidestep critical safety checks. The FAA has failed in its mandate to protect the public. Judge O'Connor's skepticism about the plea deal, particularly the DOJ's influence over the selection of an independent monitor, signals the need for deeper accountability and transparency. Boeing's statement that its misleading information to the FAA did not itself cause the crash only underscores its evasion of responsibility. This denial fails to acknowledge the broader implications of its actions, including the erosion of trust in the aviation industry. It is my mission to ensure that the truth comes to light. Documentation and whistleblower testimony show clear pattern of negligence and complicity between Boeing, the DOJ, and FAA. Judge O'Connor must recognize that this is not a corporate compliance issue. It is a matter of public safety and justice for the victims and their families. The public deserves accountability, not excuses. It's time for systematic reform to ensure tragedies like MAX crashes never happen. If you want more information about Daryl Guberman, there were several press releases done. The first one, Boeing's strategic changes linked to CEO compensation growth and oversight concerns. 40-plus year quality expert Daryl Guberman exposes Boeing's 22-year supplier auditing loophole. Quality expert Daryl Guberman, the only savior for Boeing's future. And this is true, Judge O'Connor, my background in aerospace and composites and non-ferrous metals, etc. That's why I put that 11-letter recommendation, 42-page document into the board, and they ignored it. The dark horse solution, how Daryl Guberman can help Boeing rediscover its legacy. AOG Technics, Pfizer, J&J, Boeing fudged processes to get products out, QA expert Daryl Guberman says. George O'Connor, thank you very much for coming in today. I am going to be getting on to number 2 that will give you defined information so that you can follow this mess of the DOJ, Boeing, and also the FAA. I do this because, as Dwight D. Eisenhower said, it is not the size of the dog in the fight that counts. It's the size of the fight in the dog. And also David Foster Wallace said this. He said, the truth will set you free, but not until it is finished with you. Judge O'Connor, please get in touch with me. My number is 203-556-1493. And I really mean this. If Boeing does not utilize the talents and abilities of Daryl Guberman, they're going to have more crashes and more bad luck. Because Robert Kelly Oberg, brings 346 souls with him because he was part of the issue with MCAS at Rockwell Collins as a CEO. 203-556-1493. I thank you.